Welcome back to Module 3 of the Fit4DigiLinE training course. In the first part of our module, we spoke about the role and importance of subtitles in the language learning process. In the second part, we will be focusing on another essential element, the audio, which plays a key role in language acquisition. Let's start with the main question. Why is audio so important to the learning process? Well, let's say that audio-based lessons can make the learning experience much more functional and engaging. Audio indeed provides additional context through vocal inflection, such as the variation of the tone or the emotions of the speaker, and in this way, the message can be conveyed in a much better way than written words can. Audio also encourages critical thinking as learners are called to process not only the content of what it is being said, but also the context of how it is being said and what it implies. Finally, learning through audio is accessible to visually impaired learners or generally to learners with learning disabilities. The best benefits of audios can be found in the details. Hearing native speakers' accents helps the students practice their comprehension skills and get familiar with different accents and all their variations. And of course, audios also help them develop a correct pronunciation, especially with words with difficult or misleading spelling. And now that the importance of audio has become clear, how can you use it in a more effective and engaging way in your classroom? The most obvious method is using online or pre-made audios for practice and revision. With the audio at their disposal, learners can go through the materials presented in the classroom and revise them by listening to the audios at their own pace. Another application would be for self-assessment and assignment recordings. Teachers can prepare tests or exercises and provide the corresponding audio so that learners can evaluate their progress on comprehension speech as well. But perhaps the most enjoyable application is, of course, music. Listening to a song that is related to the course content and pay attention to the lyrics can be very helpful to focus on the different words in the most relaxed way. In relation to leisure time, learners can also find use in audio through podcasts and the radio. Finally, teachers can look for historical content to add to their courses, like, for example, iconic speeches of historical figures. And now, let's see together some useful websites you could use or you could suggest to your learners. On the Cambridge English Language Assessment, you can find many exercises available for free, including listening exercises your students can explore on their own to practice their audio skills. Forvo is a pronunciation dictionary that it is available in many languages, and it is a useful tool to explore the pronunciation of a word as well as the sounds of it in different accents. So, through Forvo, for example, you can check how a word is pronounced in American English or in British English. Next, Youglish provides the opportunity to listen to a word's pronunciation in a real-life context through YouTube video clips. And finally, Word Reference offers another tool to listen to the pronunciation of a word in different accents, as well as to find the definitions, synonyms, or the translations you might need. If you have been teaching for a while, I'm sure you have probably collected several audio resources. But have you ever wanted to edit such resources? Maybe you would like to have extra or longer pauses, so to give more time to your students to understand what is being said, but you do not know how. Audacity is a free open source software that enables you to record and edit audio or to create listening or pronunciation activities. If you're working with older students, you could also use this software to involve them in the development of podcasts or other group activities. You can use Audacity to record, edit, mix audio clips, add sound effects, and so much more. Let's see how it works. First of all, you should start by downloading the latest version of the software from the official website. This is the official website, and you can start your download directly from here. Once the download is finished, you can open the software. When using the software, if you are not sure how to proceed, you can always check the manual and open it directly from Audacity. You can click on Help here and then on Manual. If we want to edit an existing file, we have to open it first. You can either import the file from here or you can drag it directly into the software, like this. Once the file is ready to be modified, we do suggest you zoom in a bit by clicking on the magnifying glass here. In this way, as you can see, you will be able to see clearly the audio track and all its peculiarities. So, for example, let's imagine you have found the perfect file for your listening exercise, but it is too complicated for your students. Maybe the pace is too fast and the pauses are too brief, and so your students cannot fully understand all the sentences. In our example here, I have used one of the introduction videos we developed for the Fit4DigiLinE project and that you can find in the e-learning course on Miles. But of course, you can use any free audio files you have saved locally. So, let's hear the audio track.
Welcome to the training course!
We are from 5 European countries working together on the Erasmus Plus project Fit4DigiLinE.
If you want to help your students understand the dialogue better, you can generate longer pauses between each and every sentence. In our case, this is our pause. If we want to make it longer, we just have to click on Generate, then Silence, and then we can choose the duration. For example, in here, 2 seconds were chosen. Then click on Generate, and here we have our longer pause. Let's hear it.
Welcome to the training course!
We are from 5 European countries working together on the Erasmus Plus project Fit4DigiLinE.
And to identify the silences in your audio track, look for the flat lines like we have it here. Once you are satisfied, you can save the final file. To do so, just click on Export, choose the format, for example MP3 file, then rename the file if needed, click on Save, and you're done. You just have to drag the second audio file into the program, like this, and you will see the 2 tracks directly on the screen. First of all, let's zoom in a bit again. And then we need to find the exact timing and identify the part we want to delete. In order not to listen to both audios at the same time, you can mute one or the other by clicking here on mute. Now we go back to audio 1. Let's assume we would like to delete this final part. First of all, to be sure this is the exact timing, we have to listen to the audio first.
And we are from
Finland,
Italy,
Austria.
Greece,
and Spain.
Okay, now that we have identified our part, the one we would like to remove, we can do so by clicking on Edit and then on Delete. Now that audio 1 is ready, we can work on audio 2. But before doing that, first remember to mute audio 1 and unmute audio 2. Since the two files are beginning together, we have to move audio 2 first. To do so, you have to select the whole track from audio 2 and then cut it with Ctrl X. Just click on Ctrl X on your keyboard and then repaste it with Ctrl V after the end of audio 1, like this. But if you prefer not to use the shortcuts on your keyboard for pasting, copying, deleting some parts, etc., you can always go to Edit and click on the command. So now let's unmute audio 1 and let's hear the complete file.
Welcome to the training course.
We are from 5 European countries working together on the Erasmus Plus project Fit4DigiLinE.
The aim of the project is to support digital linguistic education across Europe by helping language teachers to develop their skills and knowledge.
Okay, so once you're happy with your resource, you can download it by clicking on File, Export, and then again you can choose the format and save the file. You can also use Audacity to record your own audio. Before doing that, we have to remove audio 2 and audio 1 from the intro video of the Fit4DigiLinE training course. So now that we are back to the initial screen, now that we are back to our home screen, if you want to record yourself, you simply have to click right up here on the red icon and start your recording. To improve the quality of your audio file, always remember to wait a couple of seconds before starting speaking. If you stutter or get stuck on one sentence, you can easily just delete the mistake and repeat the sentence without starting over from the very beginning, and this will save you much time. Let's try to record a short text in Italian about the Colosseo in Rome. So, as we said before, I'm going to click on the red icon here and then I'm going to wait just a couple of seconds. Il Colosseo, originariamente conosciuto come anfiteatro situato nel centro della città di Roma, è il più grande anfiteatro romano del mondo. So, as you could hear, I got stuck somewhere towards the end. I think it was somewhere in here. Let's listen to it. È il più grande anfiteatro romano del mondo. Yeah, it was this part. So I can highlight the amphi, so the mistake I made. I can re-listen to it. Amphi, yeah. So now that I'm sure that this is the part I want to delete, I can cut it with Ctrl X. Then I can re-listen to the complete audio. è il più grande anfiteatro romano del mondo. Great, now that I'm happy with the final part, I can simply export my file and save it. Now that you know how to create, use, or modify existing audio with Audacity, you can learn with us how to best use podcasts with your students in the next and final video of Module 3.